Honorable Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity.
The approved budget framework paper is the clearest signal of a downward trajectory Uganda's economy has taken in the last 2 years of the COVID-19 lockdown.
I implore members to read.
The resource envelope is expected to shrink by 1.69 trillion shillings, from 44.7 trillion to 43 trillion shillings. Of this, only 27 trillion will be available for spending, as 15 trillion will go towards servicing the public debt.
We are trying to manage the economy to make sure that we do not land into very difficult situations where we are not able to service our debts and where inflation goes haywire.
The decline in the resource envelope means cuts in the sector allocations, likely to affect the overall service delivery. For example, the budget for human capital development will be cut by 697 billion, governance and security 491 billion, integrated transport infrastructure 169 billion, sustainable energy development 42 trillion, regional development 175 billion, parliament 145 billion, whereas innovation, technology development and transfer will suffer a budget cut of 320 billion shillings.
Out-of-pocket expenditure on health is extremely high in this country, and that's another area that we need to tap into, because much of this money that our people, majority of our people are actually paying for health, goes into the pockets. You all know about the corruption in our health facilities. So if we had a national health insurance scheme, this corruption would be history, and that would be another revenue base to help us finance the health sector.
And it seeks to provide 4.2% of the national budget to the agro industry, where our people are. I begin to doubt whether we are a people's parliament.
But most importantly, the issue of tourism needs to be enhanced, because Uganda is a tourism hub. Without promoting the tourism, then we are losing a lot of money. But most importantly, again, we need to look at the roads. The maintenance of roads is very key.
Despite the proposed budget cuts, domestic revenues projected to rise to 25.7 trillion, up from 22.8 trillion in the financial year ending. As the House passed the budget framework paper, MPs concurred with the Budget Committee report that rejected the proposal by the Finance Ministry to disband wealth creation funds like Women Empowerment Program, NADS, Luwero Rwenzori and the Coffee Seedling funds. Only 465 billion was realized from these funds.
So the parish model has barely half of the desired funding, actually less than half. We are prioritizing oil. The National Oil Company is not funded.
Now, what needs now studies, according to the minority report, is once we go into funding the parish level, do we still need other structures like LOC3, like district, or we need from president to parish?
Some people were saying in the budget framework paper, you've only given it 450 billion. I tell you, whether it means cutting off which sector, whether it means doing what, we are going to cut whatever we do and fulfill the pledge we made before the president as NRM caucus, that each parish must receive at least 100 million.
The budget framework paper will now be forwarded to the executive before 31st January. The ministries will then prepare ministerial policy statements and present them before Parliament by 15th March. Herbert Ziwa, NTV at Parliament.